Sango Sangopangastaya Prasadam Yajnai Sankirtana Prair Yajantihi Sumeda Saha. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sing incarnation of God, who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accomplished by his devotees, servants. Sorry, his associates, servants, weapons and confidential companions. After all, human life is meant for pleasing Narayana, and this can easily be done by performing Sankirtan Yajna. Whenever there is a congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord, Gaura Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is incarnation as Lord Chaitanya, immediately appears and is worshipped by the Sankirtan Yajna. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.30-36. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Raja Prabhu. Thank you. Simple thing. So Prabhu and Prabhuji's and Mata is, so it is saying in the Bhagavatam in two places. So of what it is saying, the goal of human life is to please the Lord. After all, human life is meant for pleasing Narayan. And how it can be pleased? Through the medium of Sankirtana Yajna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama Sankirtana. By chanting Hare Krishna mantra. It's and Bhagavatam, this is a very, very important verse. Prabhupada frequently quotes this. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parsadam. Like this only the Prabhupada quotes. Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parsadam Yajnai Sankirtanai Praya Yajanti Sumedasa. Like this. So much weightage in this verse. In this age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates. Yajnai Sankirtanai Praya. That is the important line of in this verse. Yajnai Sankirtanai Praya. So Sankirtana Yajna. So we are all doing, when we take feedback, we feel that it's a Sankirtana Yajna. Even though it's not a ghee, fire sacrifice, different ingredients. But this is topmost in this age of Kali, that is a Yajna. Sankirtana Yajna. Think about when take beatbag and take beats, the chanting, it's a Yajna. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyata. This is the only way. And this is the topmost and highest in this age of Kali. Chant the holy names of the Lord. Okay, yeah, thank you, Mata Prabhuji. Let us begin with our Mangala Charana prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksharanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nite Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So where are we, Prabhu? Raja Prabhu, yesterday, up to which verse you completed? We all completed.
Text 120, Prabhuji.
Text 120.
Text 120.
Okay.
From 121.
Yeah. So I'm asking all of you devotees, please, any one or two devotees recite such Panchatattva. So this entire chapter is explaining about Lord Chaitanya in 5 features. Only one verse is describing. What is that one verse? In the group only it is mentioned, it is shared. Anybody likes to see and recite that? It's a mantra actually, no? It's a mantra. The 5 features of. Please recite one or two devotees.
I'll listen, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, please read.
Panchatattvatvakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam.
Yes, Prabhu. Nice. Yeah.
I love I offer my okay.
Yeah, translation you can read. Yeah.
Yeah, I offer my obeisance unto the Supreme Lord Krishna, who is non-different from his features as a devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, devotional manifestation, Nityananda Prabhu, devotional incarnation, Advaita Acharya, devotional energy, Gadadhara Pandita, and pure devotee, Shivasa Pandita, Sri Chaitanya Charitra.
Yeah. Incarnation, manifestation, energy, 1, 2, 3, and devote himself, 1, 2, 4. And look at Prabhu, incarnation, energy, manifestation, devotee, and what else?
Pure devotee, Prabhu. First, his features as a devotee is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Manifestation is Nityananda Prabhu. Incarnation is Advaita Acharya. Energy is the Gadadhar Pandita. And pure devotee, Srivasa Pandita.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Any one more devotee. This is very important prayer. After we are already done with this chapter actually. So the goal of this chapter is to learn that verse. Yeah. Anybody, please. Mata is Samyukta Mata, Deepa Mata. Beside that sloka.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam.
Thank you. Thank you, Mata and Prabhuji. Yes, let us go to it. Text 121. Let me read 5 verses, then over to you. In his Vedanta Sutra, Srila Vyasadeva, text 121, translations by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In his Vedanta Sutra, Srila Vyasadeva has described that everything is but a transformation of the energy of the Lord. Shankaracharya, however, has misled the world by commenting that Vyasadeva was mistaken. Thus, he has raised great opposition to theism throughout the entire world. Text 122. According to Shankaracharya, by accepting the theory of transformation of the energy of the Lord, one creates an illusion by indirectly accepting that the absolute truth is transformed. Text 123. Transformation of energy is a proven fact. It is a false bodily conception of the self that is an illusion. The Supreme Personality of God is opulent in all respects. Therefore, by his inconceivable energies, he has transformed the material cosmic manifestation. Text 125. Using the example of a touchstone, which by its energy turns iron to gold and yet remains the same, we can understand that although the Supreme Personality of God transforms his innumerable energies, he remains unchanged. Yeah. Mata is, you can start from yours. So 5 texts.
Yes, Raj. From 130, right? Or 131?
126.
126. Although a touchstone produces many varieties of valuable jewels, 1 second. It nevertheless remains the same. It does not change its original form. If there is such inconceivable potency in material objects, why should we not believe in the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? The Vedic sound vibration Omkara, the principal word in the Vedic literatures, is the basis of all Vedic vibrations. Therefore, one should accept Omkara as a sound representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the reservoir of the cosmic manifestation. It is the purpose of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to present Pranava, Omkara, as a reservoir of all Vedic knowledge. The words Tat Tvam Asi are only a partial explanation of the Vedic knowledge. Pranava Omkara is the Mahavakya, Mahamantra in the Vedas. Shankaracharya's followers covered this to stress without authority the mantra Tat Tvam Asi. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes. Samyukta Mata, please read another 5 verses.
Yes, Prabhuji. Text 131. In all the Vedic sutras and literatures, it is Lord Krishna who is to be understood. But the followers of Shankaracharya have covered the real meaning of the Vedas with indirect explanations. The self-evident Vedic literatures are the highest evidence of all. But if these literatures are interpreted, their self-evident nature is lost. To prove their philosophy, the members of the Mayavada school have given up the real, easily understood meaning of the Vedic literature and introduced indirect meanings based on their imaginative powers. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thus showed for each and every sutra the defects in Shankaracharya's explanation, all the assembled Mayavadi sannyasis were struck with wonder. All the Mayavadi sannyasis said, "Your Holiness, kindly know from us that we actually have no quarrel with your refutation of these meanings, for you have given a clear understanding of the sutras." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mata. Sandhya Mata, you want to read? Sandhya Mata, I don't see. Is there? Okay. Then Subhara Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Dhanavad Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanavad Pranam Prabhu.
Pune lena Prabhu inka Mumbai.
Mumbai lo unnam Prabhu. Juhu temple. Today we are in Juhu temple.
Temple, yeah,
Today we came to Juhu temple. Today we are planning to go to Chowpatty and tomorrow GAV.
మొత్తం కృష్ణ
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
సుబ్బారావు ప్రభుకి జై. ఈ
Ram, Ram.
టెంపుల్ యాత్రలు చేస్తున్నాడు పూణే అండ్ ముంబై అండ్ జీవి.
Oh, Prabhu.
ప్రభు వాంట్ టు రీడ్
Yes, Prabhu. Which sloka, Prabhu?
from 136 to 140.
136. We know that all this world jugglery springs from the imagination of Shankaracharya, and yet because we belong to his sect, we accept it, although it does not satisfy us. Text 137. Now let us see. The Mayavadi sannyasis continued. How well you can describe the sutras in terms of their direct meaning. Hearing this, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began his direct explanation of the Vedanta Sutra. Text 138. Brahman, who is greater than the greatest, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is full in his six opulences and therefore is the reservoir of ultimate truth and absolute knowledge. Text 139. In his original form, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is full of transcendental opulences, which are free from the contamination of the material world. It is to be understood that in all Vedic literature, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal. Hare Krishna, that's all, Prabhu. Further continue.
ఇంకో 140 కూడా.
When, text 140, when we speak of the Supreme as the impersonal, we deny his spiritual potencies. Logically, if we accept half of the truth, we cannot understand the whole. Hare Krishna.
The problem with Mayavadis is they understood only half of the truth, impersonalism. That's why Mayavadis means impersonalism. They cannot understand the personalist form of Krishna. You cannot understand the whole. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Chandraval Prabhu, 141 to 145. Read, please.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Text 141. It is only by devotional service, beginning with hearing, that one can approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the only means to approach him. Text 142. By practicing this regular devotional, regulated devotional service under the direction of the spiritual master, certainly one awakens his dormant love of Godhead. This process is called Abhideya. Text 43. If one develops his love of Godhead and becomes attached to the lotus feet of Krishna, gradually he loses his attachment to everything else. Text 144. Love of Godhead is so exalted that is considered to be the fifth goal of human life. By awakening one's love of Godhead, one can attain platform of conjugal love, tasting it even during the present span of life. Text 145. The Supreme Lord, who is greater than the greatest, becomes submissive to even a very insignificant devotee because of his devotional service. It is the beautiful and exalted nature of devotional service that the infinite Lord becomes submissive to the infinitesimal living entity because of it. In reciprocal devotional service activities with the Lord, the devotee actually enjoys the transcendental mellow of devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yeah. Akinjan Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Akinjan Prabhu. Yeah, Prabhu. Yes, go ahead. 146 to 150.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. One's relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead, activities in terms of that relationship, and the ultimate goal of the life to develop love of God. these three subjects are explained in every aphorism of Vedanta Sutra, for they form the culmination of the entire Vedanta philosophy. When all the Mayavadi sannyasis thus heard the explanation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the basis of Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana, they spoke very humbly. Dear sir, you are Vedic knowledge personified and are directly Narayana himself. Kindly excuse us for the offenses we previously committed by criticizing you. From the moment when the Mayavadi sannyasis heard the explanation of the Vedanta Sutra from the Lord, their minds changed. They too chanted Krishna, Krishna, always. Thus, Lord Chaitanya excused all the offenses of Mayavadi sannyasis and very mercifully blessed them with Krishna Nama.
Okay. Yes, they understood him. Finally, with the understandings, as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained to these Mayavadi sannyasis, so they got this. So this is correct. They also clarified. Yes. Aryan Prabhu, please read 151 to 150.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
After
Krishna.
this, all the sannyasis took the Lord into their midst, and thus they all took their meal together. After taking lunch among the Mayavadi sannyasis, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is known as Gaura Sundara, returned to his residence. Thus the Lord performs his wonderful pastime. Hearing the argument of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and seeing his victory, Chandrasekhara, Tapna Mishra, and Sanatana Goswami were all extremely pleased. Many of Varanasi came to see the Lord after this incident, and the entire city praised him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited the city of Varanasi, and all of its people were very thankful.
Yes. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Read, yes.
155.
156.
The crowd at the door of his residence was so great that it numbered hundreds of thousands. When the Lord went to visit the temple of Visheshwara, hundreds of thousands of people assembled to see him. Whenever Lord Chaitanya went to the bank of Ganges to take his bath, big crowd of many hundreds of thousands of people assembled there. Wherever the crowds were too great, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stood up, raised his hand and chanted, Hari, Hari, to which all the people responded, filling both the hands and sky with the vibrations. Right, Prabhuji? After thus delivering the people in general, the Lord desired to leave Varanasi. After instructing Sri Sanatana Goswami, he sent him towards Vrindavana.
Yeah. Yes, that's the thing. Yes, bro. Thank you. Whenever we see in our devotee community, also, if somebody after a long time we are seeing the devotee, we say that Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Hari with excitement. This devotee, after a long time I'm meeting. Hari Bol, bro, and take good hug and share our realizations. Yes. Sandhya Mataji or Raju Prabhu, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
No problem. You want to read Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. 5 translations. Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Because the city of Varanasi was always full of tumultuous crowds, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after Sanatana to Vrindavana, returned to Jagannath Puri. I have here given a brief account of these pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, but later I shall describe the extensive way. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates of Panchatattva distributed the holy name of the Lord to invoke love of Godhead throughout the universe, and thus the entire universe was thankful. Lord Chaitanya dispatched the 2 generals Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami to Vrindavana to preach the Bhakti cult. As Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami were sent toward Mathura, so Nityananda Prabhu was sent to Bengal to preach extensively the cult of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mother. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yeah, Raja Prabhu, please complete this.
Text 116. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally went to South India and he broadcast the holy name of the Lord Krishna in every village and town. Thus, the Lord went to the southernmost tip of Indian peninsula, known as the Setubandha, Cape Cameroon. Everywhere he distributed the Bhakti cult and love of Krishna, and in this way he delivered everyone. I have thus explained the truth of the Panchatattva. One who hears his explanation incarnations in knowledge of the Chaitanya. While chanting the Panchatattva Maha Mantra, one must chant the names of Lord Sri Chaitanya, Nityananda, Advaita, Gadadhara, and Srivasa with their many devotees. This is the process. I again and again offer obeisance to the Panchatattva. Thus, I think that I will be able to describe something about the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami and Sri Raghunatha, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadasa, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita following in their footsteps. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Yeah. Sri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yara Asha Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Dasa. Oh, wonderful news actually. It's a Bengal. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is written in Bengal. The verses are like that. Sri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yara Asha Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Dasa. Krishna Dasa is a praying for them, their mercy. Rupa and Raghunatha. Praying at the lotus feet of Rupa Raghunatha, always desiring their mercy. I, Krishnadasa. Krishnadasa, who is Krishnadasa? The author of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Narrates Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita following in their footsteps. Yes. Yeah. With one last purport, let us read one more time. Anybody likes to read with this purport, and we'll conclude for reading today.
Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunatha, always during their mercy, I, Krishnadasa, narrates the Chaitanya Charitamrita following to their footsteps. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to preach the Sankirtan movement of love of Krishna throughout the entire world, and therefore during his presence he inspired the Sankirtan movement. Specifically, he sent Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami to Vrindavana and Nityananda to Bengal, and personally went to South India. In this way, he kindly left the task of preaching his cult in the rest of the world to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The members of this society must always remember that if they stick to the regulative principles and preach sincerely according to the instructions of the Acharyas, surely they will have the profound blessings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and their preaching work will be successful everywhere throughout the world. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7th chapter, describing Lord Chaitanya in 5 features. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Chandana Prabhu. Thank you all. Please. Thank you for reading this wonderful chapter. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Simple. See how when our preaching is going to affect how we practice, how we sincerely take up, right? So chant the holy names of the Lord, minimum 16 rounds. It's a minimum 16 rounds. Prabhupada says we can do many rounds. That some devotees do every day 32 rounds, some devotees 20 rounds, some devotees in Vanaprastha ashram they do 64 rounds. They have so much time. So like that. So minimum 16 rounds, following for regulative principles. What are the 4 regulative principles, Mataji and Prabhuji?
No meat eating, no gambling.
Yes, no intoxication.
No intoxication.
Why are we following? Anybody says? Why we need to follow those 4 regulative principles? The last purport is especially says following regulative principles. So why we need to follow?
To control the senses. To control the senses, to lead the disciplined life.
Wonderful. Yes, that's true. Okay. Another thing, some more.
If we are able to control our senses, then only we can participate in spiritual progress. You can see the spiritual progress also.
Yes, you are
Yeah.
right. 3 point. Okay. Other mother is Prabhuji's. Quickly. See, for regulative principles are to establish in a proper way, establish dharma, satyam, saucham, daya, tapaha, right? So speaking truth, speaking always, satyam, truthful, being truthful to ourselves. Satyam, daya, compassionate to all living entities. That's where no meat eating is, we are following. Satyam, that means no gambling. Be truthful to yourself and be truthfully earned. Satyam, daya. Saucham, cleanliness. That means no illicit sex. Sexy indulgence is the most abominable thing outside of marriage. That's called, illicit sex. So no illicit sex. Then satyam, daya, saucham, tapaha. No intoxications. Intoxicants or even tea, coffee also. Why? Tea, coffee also having some bad effects. Some, some, what is that? Cocoa, coffee beans. It's not good for. And intoxicants also, especially those you all know, liquor. That's the thing. So Satyam, Daya, Saucham, Tapa, these all four dharma, right? To start ourselves, dharma. So to establish ourselves in dharmic way. That's why we are following four regulative principles. Yes, by doing so, our life will become disciplined, controlling senses. So slowly, gradually, we get that point. Strictly following, and there's proper earnings. Not going for different ways in easy way, easy methods. That's where. So for regulative principles and chant the holy names of the Lord. Effective. Reaching is also going to be effective. It's a gradual process. Of course, we are in puffed of life, sometimes. But with the mercy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Gaur Sundar, Krishna, they only look at our sincerity, how we take up the process. Then they bestows mercy upon all of us. So humbly request all of you, pray for me. I will also pray for you for the progression in the path of Krishna consciousness nicely by following, giving these principles, these instructions, chant the holy names of the Lord, following regulative principles. And when I take during the initiation of Harinam Diksha, we say this one, the third point, that is serving in the Srila Prabhupada mission as a servant of servitorship. Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayur, dasa anudas. Servant of. That is the process. So they are also Guru, these all spiritual masters in our ISKCON, they give the initiation on the behalf of Srila Prabhupada. They say that on behalf of Srila Prabhupada, I'm giving you Harinam Diksha, and in the situated in the Parampara system on behalf of. So they are staunch follower of Srila Prabhupada. They are serving Srila Prabhupada since last 30, 40, 45 years. They stick to these principles, like chant the holy names of the Lord without missing every single day, following for regulative principles and preaching. See, how are we getting now? With their mercy. Since after Prabhupada left, only 12, 13 years only he has given this ISKCON. And instructions, books, temples, centers, right? After that, these devotees are sincerely and seriously serving Srila Prabhupada since then, since last 40 years. Now we are seeing wonderful temples. Subbarao Prabhu is visiting all wonderful temples, Juhu temple, NVCC temple. Is it how they built? So Prabhupada's instructions following sincerely and seriously and build these temples. Now we are benefiting. Similarly, we have whatever we know. If you know Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, preach it, spread the word. So that's ultimately, of course, we have to follow the footsteps of previous Acharya. Yes, and we have to spread the same as they spread the message. Yeah, thank you so much again for your presence every day. Readings. I'm very happy about everyone is sincerely reading. This attracts Lord's mercy. This is the sincerity actually. How are we are showing sincerity? By joining calls every 8 o'clock, 7:30 by Japa calls. Right? That's the way. That's the Krishna is watching us every day. She is everywhere his eyes. So thank you. Thank you so much. So now, how many of you not given the sloka test so that you practice and prepare yourself on the 2 days only? Okay. So now, who are in front of computer?
I met to give Prabhu. Actually, I met Anantagao Prabhu yesterday.
Yesterday, but మీరు ఆల్రెడీ తీసుకున్నారు కదా మీకు ఎక్సెప్షన్
అవ్వలేదు Prabhu. Test అవ్వలేదు.
You have exception.
అయ్యో రామ, no exception.
మీరు అన్నారు పూణే వెళ్ళింది అందుకన్నారు కదా ప్రభు.
లేదు ప్రభు, తీసుకోలేదు, ఆయన లేరు, నిన్న వచ్చేస్తున్నాడు కలిసారు.
బాగా జరుగుతుందా ప్రభు యాత్ర?
యాత్ర అంటే పిల్లల్ని తీసుకుని బయలుదేరా ప్రభు. జస్ట్ షోయింగ్ దెం ఆల్ ద ప్లేసెస్.
మంచి పని చేశారు ప్రభు. నైస్. They get some good inspiration to chant in nicely. Yes. So Deepa Mata, I am making you host. Can you do that? You all practice.
Oh, you are going to practice slokas now, Prabhu?
You want to do?
Okay. No, Prabhu. Actually, I have to go. So probably if somebody is there, I can.
Sure.
I might leave. Okay. Okay. Right.
Sure, Prabhu. Yeah. I made you host, Mataji. Deepa Mataji.
ఓకే
చేసుకోండి. మరి ఎవరెవరు రాజు ప్రభు చేయలేదు, మీరు చేయలేదు, మా ఆమె కొంచెం మధ్యలో జాయిన్ అవుతుంది, నేర్చుకుంటుంది, రేపు జాయిన్ అవుతుంది. అక్కించం ప్రియ డన్. ఎస్, ఇక మీరు చూసుకోండి. ఇక మీరు ఇద్దరే ఉన్నారు కదా. ఓకే. శిరీష మాతాజీ కూడా ఉన్నారు కదా ప్రభు, రాజు ప్రభు, మీరు ముగ్గురు చేయండి. మాతాజీ కూడా ఉన్నారు కదా ఎగ్జామ్.
మాతాజీ ఉన్నారు కానీ ఉన్నారు ప్రభు.
ఓకే, సరే ప్రభు.
ఒక్క నిమిషం ప్రభు, ఓపెన్ చేస్తున్నాను.
చేసుకోండి. మాతాజీ
1 minute. బానే ఉన్నారు, బాత్రూమ్ లో ఉన్నారు. నేను వేరే కాల్ మీద ఉన్నాను, కాల్ చేపిస్తా. బానే ఉన్నారు. ఓకే. Can everybody see?
Yes, Mataji, you can continue. So I am muting myself, Mataji. Okay, no?
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll start Raju Prabhuji. So, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Should I start the shloka reading?
We can hear you, Mataji.
Yeah, I'll start the shloka reading. Please repeat after me. Apare 7.5. Apareyamitastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param.
Apareyamitastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param.
Jiva bhuta mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. Four lines. Apareyamitastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param. Jiva bhuta mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat.
Apareyamitastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param. Jiva bhuta mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat.
Translation. Besides these,
O
mighty armed Arjuna,
there
is another superior energy of mine, which comprises the living entities, who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature.
Who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature.
Okay. Try repeating without seeing, okay, by closed eyes, so you can remember it. 7.14. Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya.
Devi sa gunamayi mama maya duratyaya.
Mameva ye prapadyante mayametam taranti te.
Mameva prapadyante mayametam taranti te.
Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. Mameva ye prapadyante mayametam taranti te.
Devi sa gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. Mameva prapadyante mayametam taranti te.
This divine energy of mine,
This
This divine energy of mine,
consisting of the three modes of material nature,
consisting of
the three modes of material nature,
is difficult to overcome.
is difficult to overcome.
But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it.
Can
easily cross beyond it.
7.19. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate.
Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan prapadyate.
Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha.
Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha.
Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate. Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha.
Bahunam janmanamante
jnanavan mam prapadyate. Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha.
After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge,
he who is actually in knowledge
surrenders unto me,
surrenders unto me,
knowing me to be the cause of all causes,
knowing me to be the cause of all causes,
and all that is,
and all that
is.
Such a great soul is very rare.
Such a great soul is very rare.
8.5. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram.
Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram.
Yaprayati samadbhavam vyati nasyatra samshaya.
Yaprayati samadbhavam vyati nasyatra samshaya.
Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. Yaprayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshaya.
Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. Yaprayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah.
And whoever
at
the end of his life quits his body remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt.
Of this there is no doubt.
8.16. Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartino arjuna.
Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartino arjuna.
Mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate.
Mam upetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate.
Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartino arjuna. Mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate.
Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartino arjuna. Mam upetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate.
from the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest,
from the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest,
all are places of misery,
all are places of misery,
wherein repeated birth and death take place.
wherein repeated birth and death take place.
But one who attains to my abode,
But
But
one
one
who
who
attains
comes to my abode,
O son of Kunti,
O son of
the son
Kunti,
of Kunti,
never takes birth again.
never
never
takes
takes birth again.
9.2 Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam
Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitramidam Uttamam
Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam.
Pratyakshagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartumavyayam.
Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam.
Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram
Uttamam Pratyakshagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartumavyayam.
This knowledge is the king of education,
This knowledge is the king of education,
the most secret of all secrets.
The
the
most
most secret of all secrets.
It is the purest knowledge,
It is the purest knowledge,
and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization,
and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization,
it is the perfection of religion.
it is the perfection of religion.
It is everlasting,
It is everlasting,
and it is joyfully performed.
and it is joyfully performed.
9.4 Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyaktamurtina
Maya tatam idam sarvam avyaktamurtina
Sthani sarva bhutani nachaham teshvavasthita.
mastani sarvabhutani nachaham teshvavastita.
Maya tatamidam sarvam jagat avyaktamurtina Mastani sarva bhutani nachaham teshvavasthitah.
Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyaktamurtina Mastani sarvabhutani nachaham teshvavastita.
By me,
By me,
in my unmanifested form,
in my unmanifested form,
this entire universe is pervaded.
this entire universe is pervaded.
All beings are in me,
All beings are in me,
but I am not in them.
but I am not
I
in
am
them.
not in them.
9.14 Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha trudhavrataah
Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha trudhavrataah
namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate.
Namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate.
Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha trudhavrataah namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate.
Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha trudhavrataah Namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate.
Always chanting my glories,
Always chanting my glories,
endeavoring with great determination,
endeavoring with great determination,
bowing down before me,
going down before me.
these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion.
These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion.
9.25 Yanti deva vrata devan pitrinyanti pitrivrata
Yanti deva vrata deva pitrinyanti pitrivrata
bhutani yanti bhutecha yanti madhyajino apimam.
Bhutani yanti bhutecha yanti madhyanapi
apimam.
Yanti deva vrata devan pitrinyanti pitrivrata bhutani yanti bhutecha yanti madhyajino apimam.
यान्ति देवा व्रता
देवान् पितॄन् यान्ति पितृव्रता भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्य यान्ति मर्त्याजिनोऽपि माम्.
Those who worship the demigods
Those who worship the demigods
will take birth among the demigods.
will take birth among the demigods.
Those who worship the ancestors
Those who worship the ancestors
go to the ancestors.
go to the
go to the
ancestors.
ancestors.
Those who worship ghosts and spirits
Those who
Those
worship
who
ghosts
worship
and
ghosts and
spirits
spirits
will take birth among such beings,
will take birth among such beings,
and those who worship me will live with me.
and those who worship me will live with me.
9.26 Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati.
Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati.
Tadaham bhakti upahritam ashnami prayatatmanaha.
Tadaham bhaktya upahritam ashnami prayatatmanaha.
Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati. Tadaham bhakti upahritam ashnami prayatatmanaha.
Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati. Tadaham bhakti upahritam ashnami prayatatmanaha.
If one offers me
If one offers me
with love and devotion
with love and devotion
a leaf, a flower, a fruit, and water,
a leaf, a flower, a fruit, and water,
I will accept it.
I will accept it.
9.27 Yat karoshi yat asnasi yat juhoshi dadasi yat.
Yat karosi yad asnasi yad juhosi dadasi yat.
Yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam.
Yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurusva madarpanam.
Yat karoshi yat asnasi yat juhoshi dadasi yat. Yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam.
Yat karosi yad asnasi yad juhosi dadasi yat. Yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurusva madarpanam.
Whatever you do,
Whatever you do,
whatever you eat,
whatever you eat,
whatever you offer or give away,
whatever you offer or give away,
and whatever austerities you perform,
and whatever austerities you perform,
do that, O son of Kunti,
do that, O son of Kunti,
as an offering to me.
as an offering to me.
29 Samoham sarva bhuteshu na me dveshosti na priyah.
Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshosti na priyah.
Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maite teshu chapyaham.
Ye
Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maite teshu chapyaham.
Samoham sarva bhuteshu na me dveshosti na priyah. Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maite teshu chapyaham.
Samoham sarvabhuteshu
name dveshosti na priyah. Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maite teshu chapyaham.
I envy no one,
I envy no one,
nor am I partial to anyone.
nor am I partial to anyone.
I am equal to all,
I am equal to all,
but whoever renders service unto me
but whoever
But
renders service unto
renders
me
service unto me
in devotion
in devotion
is a friend,
is a
is a
friend,
friend,
is in me,
is
is in me,
and I am also a friend to him.
and I am also a friend to him.
10.8 Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate.
Iti matva bhajanti mam buddha bhava samanvitaah.
iti
Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaah.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaah.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samantitaah.
I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds.
I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds.
Everything emanates from me.
Everything emanates from me.
The wise who perfectly know this
The wise who perfectly know this
engage in my devotional service
engage in my devotional service
and worship me with all their hearts.
and
and
worship
worship me with all their hearts.
10.10 Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam
Tesham sadata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam
dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te.
dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te.
Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te.
Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te.
To those who are constantly devoted
To those who are constantly devoted
to serving me with love,
to
to
serving me with
serving me
love,
with love,
I give the understanding
I
give
give
the
the understanding
understanding
by which they can come to me.
by
by
which
which they can come to me.
Then Prabhuji's Mataji's Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Vancha kalpatarabhyasya janam
Pujjanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Antakoti Vaishnava ki jai. Srila Prabhupada greeting ki jai.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. See you all tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji. Dandavat.